chocolate. Sweet, innocent, harmless, right? Think again.
Companies don't tell you the heavy metals in the chocolate can cause cancer, high blood pressure, kidney disease, and low sperm count. Stuff you don't want.
Every bite you take hides heavy metals, chemicals, and corporate lies. The brands you trust aren't selling chocolate. They're selling feelings, addiction, and silence. And most Americans? They'll never see the truth. People think chocolate is innocent. That belief didn't come from science. It came from advertising.
Chocolate, 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 chocolate,
Chocolate! In America, chocolate is sold as comfort, love, childhood, reward. It's sold as something safe enough to hand to kids without thinking twice. It's wrapped in bright colors, smiling mascots, holiday nostalgia, and celebrity faces. And because it's been normalized for generations, nobody asks questions. But the moment you stop watching commercials and start reading U.S. Health Department advisories, consumer lab reports, federal lawsuits, and court documents, the entire image falls apart. What you discover is not sweetness. It's toxins, deception, legal loopholes, and an industry built on silence. This isn't about one bad company. This is about how the American chocolate industry actually works. Let's start with the part they never put on the label. Heavy metals. Independent testing by Consumer Reports, along with other US-based laboratories, found that many chocolate products sold in American grocery stores contain lead and cadmium. These aren't chemicals added for flavor. These are heavy metals that enter the cocoa through contaminated soil and poor sourcing controls. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there is no safe level of lead exposure for children. Lead damages brain development, lowers IQ, affects behavior, and causes lifelong neurological harm. Cadmium doesn't just pass through the body. It accumulates. It damages kidneys, weakens bones, disrupts hormones, and increases cancer risk over time. These are not debatable facts. These are public health positions. Yet testing showed that chocolate bars sold in America, including products marketed as premium and healthier, contained levels of these metals that exceeded health-based limits used by states like California. Hershey's, one of the most trusted American brands, had dark chocolate products testing well above California's maximum allowable dose level for lead. Trader Joe's dark chocolate products tested high for both lead and cadmium. These results weren't speculation. They were strong enough to trigger class action lawsuits filed in U.S. federal court. In Lazaro versus the Hershey Company, the plaintiff accused Hershey's of misleading consumers by selling chocolate containing dangerous heavy metals without any warning. A similar lawsuit was filed against Trader Joe's, accusing the company of the same thing, selling contaminated chocolate while presenting it as safe and wholesome. The companies didn't deny the metals were there. They said the products were within federal guidelines. Here's the part most Americans don't know. The FDA has no strict federal limit for lead or cadmium in chocolate. That's not an oversight. That's a regulatory gap the industry benefits from. So when companies say within guidelines, what they really mean is, there is no rule stopping us. Legal does not mean safety, it means allowed. Cocoa plants absorb metals from soil. Chocolate companies know this. They've known about it for decades. Cleaner sourcing costs more. Rigorous testing costs more. Reformulation costs more. Warning consumers hurts sales, so they choose silence. And this problem isn't limited to one brand. Next, Mars Incorporated, the billion-dollar chocolate giant. Mars owns M&M's, Snickers, Milky Way, Twix, and Dove. Their products are meticulously engineered to be addictive. Sugar makes up 45 to 55% of many bars. Refined sugar spikes blood glucose and triggers dopamine release, the brain's pleasure chemical. Mars bars contain hydrogenated oils, soy lecithin, and artificial flavors, and the real cocoa content is often below 20%. They also include TBHQ, a preservative linked to liver changes in animal studies, and propylene glycol, a chemical that affects long-term health. Mars markets aggressively. Bright mascots, Super Bowl ads, and celebrity tie-ins are designed to create emotional attachment from childhood. And while the marketing emphasizes fun and happiness, Mars's cocoa supply chain has repeatedly been linked to child labor, despite public promises of reform. Health effects of Mars's products are obvious: obesity, type 2 diabetes, high triglycerides, and liver strain. But ads never tell you that. Nestlé operates the same way. Nestlé USA sells Kit Kat and Crunch across America. Nestlé has faced lawsuits in U.S. courts alleging that it benefited from forced child labor on cocoa farms in West Africa. In the landmark case, Nestlé USA, Incorporated versus Doe, plaintiffs described being trafficked as children, forced to work long hours harvesting cocoa under brutal conditions. Nestlé's defense was not that child labor didn't exist. It was that Nestlé wasn't legally responsible for it. That's how modern corporations protect themselves. They profit from systems they claim they don't control. Mondelez, which owns Cadbury, sells nostalgia and heritage in the U.S., but what reaches shelves is sugar-heavy, low-cocoa, milk powder-laden bars, sometimes containing lead and cadmium above safety thresholds. Ethical transparency is poor, with child labor slowly addressed in glossy sustainability reports. Ads show happy families, purple packaging, and Easter baskets, masking the harsh reality behind the cocoa farms. Health risks include insulin resistance, inflammation, and blood sugar spikes. Cadbury dairy milk sold in America contains higher sugar and milk powder, lower cocoa content, and is often described by food experts as a dairy-based confection, not real chocolate. Lindt Excellence, marketed as premium, is no safer. High cocoa percentages, 70 to 85%, concentrate both antioxidants and heavy metals, exposing consumers to lead and cadmium above safe levels. Marketing emphasizes Swiss craftsmanship and indulgence, never the toxicity hidden in every bar. Regular consumers risk kidney damage and neurological issues from daily consumption. Green and blacks, sold as organic and ethical, is still contaminated. Lead 143%, cadmium 181% above safe levels. Organic certification measures farming practices, not soil toxicity. Marketing leans on image, masking chemical reality. Seasonal chocolates exploit loopholes. Palmer Easter bunnies, Christmas figures, Halloween candy, all often labeled chocolatey. That word is legal. It allows cocoa butter replacement with vegetable oils, creating a waxy texture and near-zero nutritional value. Parents think they're buying chocolate. They're buying sugar and fat shaped like chocolate. Now the biggest lie, dark chocolate. Sold as heart-healthy, antioxidant-rich, brain-boosting. Doctors recommend it. Influencers promote it. Wellness culture worships it. Yet dark chocolate often contains higher levels of lead and cadmium than milk chocolate, because higher cocoa percentage absorbs more metals from soil. Trader Joe's, a brand Americans trust for clean eating, is equally misleading. Their 85% dark chocolate lovers chocolate contains lead 127% above safety limits and cadmium 229% over safe levels. The company's response: eat in moderation. A corporate dodge shifting the burden to consumers. Clean labeling does not equal safe chemistry. That word shows up everywhere. Moderation is how responsibility gets shifted from corporations to consumers. It says, we sold it, you managed it wrong. Now, let's talk about chemistry. American chocolate is not the same as chocolate sold abroad. Hershey's U.S. formula contains butyric acid, stabilizing milk fats. Safe in small amounts, but also found in rancid butter. That sour aftertaste? Chemistry. Cocoa butter is expensive, vegetable fats are cheap, sugar masks bitterness, emulsifiers fake smoothness, cost-cutting, not accidents. And all of this is wrapped in celebrity influence. Celebrities don't endorse chocolate because it's healthy. They endorse it because faces create trust faster than facts. When a famous athlete or actor smiles with a chocolate bar, the brain shuts down skepticism. No celebrity ad mentions lead. No influencer caption mentions cadmium. No commercial explains child labor risks. Those truths live in court documents, not commercials. Health departments warn that chronic exposure to heavy metals is dangerous, especially for children and pregnant women. Yet these products are placed at eye level, marketed with cartoons, and sold in bulk for holidays. That placement is deliberate. This industry survives because of three things: weak regulation, emotional marketing, and consumer silence. Chocolate itself isn't evil. Cocoa isn't poisonous. The danger is unchecked corporate power. When companies hide behind loopholes, outsource moral responsibility, suppress warnings, and use celebrities to distract from facts, consumers become test subjects without consent. This isn't fear-mongering. This is documented reality. Chocolate companies know what's in their products. They know where their cocoa comes from. They know what long-term exposure means. And they know most people won't read lawsuits, lab reports, or health advisories. So they sell feelings instead of facts. That's why this matters. Because the wrapper isn't there to protect the chocolate. It's there to protect the brand. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.